as best we can that tells a story of discovery. Even if we think we understand what's going to happen, we start with the simplest possible explanation and work up to the complex explanation, because that story is something we want to imbue the viewers with. We're tricking people into thinking scientifically by blowing shit up. I mean, and that is, nobody's emailed us to thank us for our groundbreaking work in urban legend research. Nobody cares about that. Really, everyone understands, there's a tacit understanding, if you really think about it, that this is just a scarecrow on which to hang a show about science and about actually exploring. And that's something we take really seriously every time. And when we try and think about it, we get asked a lot about experiments you could do that kids could do. And unfortunately, so many of them are often get really boring, like Mentos and soda. I'm really bored of Mentos and soda. And others nobody will allow you to do in schools anymore. I mean, Mr. Wizard was able to like take hydrogen and Pringles and blow shit up in the classroom, and nobody's allowed to do that anymore. So that's actually really, it's a tall order to fill, and I don't think we'll be trying to fill it anytime soon, because again, we're not trying to appeal to kids. That's just a wonderful, wonderful side benefit that we figure as long as we go along the way we are, that'll keep on happening.
Well, on that note, when I was in high school, I did get to light the chalkboard on fire, and that was a lot of fun. What I wanted to say was, ever since I saw the first episode of your show, I've been telling people that my dream job would be to work for MythBusters. What could I possibly do to make that happen?
Yeah. We've never gotten that request before. At this point, the turnover on the crew is extremely small, as you can expect. And if opportunities do come up, they'll usually make a big deal of them, and they'll show up on the Discovery message boards or on the MythBusters fan club boards, and we'll do some kind of show about that. Besides that, there's nothing I can tell you. Thanks.
Hey, Adam. I'm kind of starstruck here. I'm sorry. I enjoy your show. I love
Oh, wait, closer to the microphone, please.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of starstruck here. I love your show, and I love your motto, and I often use it at the school I work at. So, have you ever thought of doing some of these video game, they're not really missed, but like the stuff they do in the video games, like Team Fortress 2, one of the guys can do a rocket jump, pointing the rocket at the floor and, jump up. Poor Buster's been through so much, but...
Actually, that hadn't occurred to us. That's a good one. We have one on our list for a long time that's just location dependent, called Nintendo versus Pro, in which we take a teenager who's just gotten his driver's license but is really good at a specific driving game, and putting him on the Sears Point Raceway track in the car he's good at driving in the game, because I know that the physics simulators on them are fantastic now, and seeing how well he does against another teenager of a similar skill level who's also just gotten his, and see if the video game actually teaches you better driving, and race him off against a real race car driver. We haven't done that yet. It's been on the list forever. We know it's a nice, quick 3-day story. The problem is it takes renting the track, which is just, it's expensive, and it just hasn't happened yet, but it will.
I'd also like to thank you for coming. It's going to make me even cooler at my school next year.
I missed that.
I said I'd also like to thank you for coming. It's just, I'm one of the kids call me one of the kids. They don't consider me a teacher. Now you're just going to make me even cooler.
Thank you.
Hey, Adam. First quick question. What is your weekly budget for fire extinguishers on the show?
Well, the fire extinguisher problem is an ongoing one, because it's so much fun to fire those CO2 fire extinguishers. And Jamie's always getting really pissed off about it. Where's the goddamn fire extinguisher that was here? Can somebody please get the, god damn it. Constant, ongoing.
Okay. A few questions back. Earlier you were talking about, nobody's mentioning your groundbreaking work in urban legends and that. And I think there is a certain level of consumer advocacy